one of my favorite little bits about this process is from Stephen King, who Stephen obviously knows a thing or two about writing.
Yeah.
And in his On Writing book talks about how your first draft is you telling yourself the story, and the rewriting is you telling other people the story.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's what that initial process is, whether you're doing it by yourself, which I've written many scripts by myself too, where you're just sort of sitting there with the ideas and letting them percolate and figuring out which one's the best and then weaving them together, or whether you're sitting on a couch with your wife for 3 days telling each other the story back and forth. I think that's the key jumping off point to getting a script off the ground.
I love that.
So, Will, is there anything that you would suggest, like any books, literature, or any videos or anything that could help explain the writing process that would give a leg up to a beginner or someone who's new, or even a veteran?
Yeah. I constantly find myself trying to learn. I mean, I've been doing this for a while now, but there's still growth and learning to be done. I learned so much about screenwriting just at UCLA, between the professional program and the MFA. So, I mean, the books that I was consuming from there were Hal Ackerman's book or Richard Walter's book. Paul Chitlick has a book specifically on rewriting, which rewriting I think is its own specific skill in a way.
Yeah.
So I think that's really helpful. I think writers now, people coming up now, have so many more resources than I had 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. There's so many YouTube videos, the lessons from the screenplay videos, which I think we've shared before. I think you guys sent me one at some point. I know you guys are a fan of those. They're a little masterclass unto themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lessons from the screenplay. I can't recommend those highly enough.
And they're very accessible.
Yeah.
It's like for people who can't sit down and read a book, because I know it is tricky for some people. They just don't comprehend it, or they can't make themselves do it. Sitting down and watching a video is so different, and you've got visuals, you've got samples, you've got clips from things that you love.
And character arc timelines that Michael puts a lot of great effort into, and that team, they really do a great job. We highly recommend Lessons from the Screenplay as a great place to learn about
the writing process. Yeah.
And seeing it through to how it turns into the film, and they go into things that were not so great, but a lot of things that really moved us in ways, and show how they're all linked. That's really great.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, the biggest thing is just to write. It's just to put your butt in the chair and type stuff up and understand that it's probably not going to be good. Like, that's okay. I think for new writers especially, there's this idea that once I start punching the keys, and once it's there, in black and white, then it's somehow written in stone. And so this perfectionist idea kicks in to where it's like, well, I don't want to put anything on the stone that's going to be bad. So the fear starts. And I think that you just have to accept that it might not be good for a little bit. It is a skill, it is a craft, and it takes a long time to get to the point where you can produce material that is of a quality that you're used to seeing in movies and TV. And that's just how it is. So I think that just sort of putting that fear aside and just diving in one way or another, I think is the best thing that new writers can do.